Hi everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to the Asynchronous EPI101 from Stats Clinic. This is the first time that we are teaching this class, and I'm excited to help set it up for you. The EPI101 course is titled Introduction to the Design of Clinical and Population Health Studies. And we have lined up a number of instructors and faculty who are going to help walk you through. As I mentioned, this version is asynchronous. And so what we're really doing is that we are leveraging a lot of the recorded videos that we have had in the past, and we're presenting it in a way that's going to make it easy for you to walk through it on your own while we provide you some support. Some of that support will be support that you can reach out to us via email if you have questions, but also some of that is live workshops. Those live workshops will help you to tie together the learning that you may have that you're going to be able to make during the course of the class. This course is intended for health workers as an introduction or refresher to epidemiology, and we make no assumptions about the amount of maths and statistics that you may have already learned. This course does not go into much statistical theory. In fact, the key purpose of the course is to introduce you to the interpretation of study designs when you encounter them in the scientific literature. As I mentioned, there will be 2 optional workshops where we will share published papers to you. You'll be expected to read those papers and review them and answer some questions based on the prompt that we will share as well. We expect that you will do the readings and review those questions before coming to the live workshop. The live workshop will be an opportunity to do the questions again together, and then you can go back and freshen up your work. There are 4 instructors who would lead this course. This is essentially based on some of the recordings that we have made. Dr. Ibua Igosage, who is an associate director in Health Economics and Outcomes Research at Merck, as well as Dr. Moshood Mataro, who is a director of research at Hospice and Palliative Care in Buffalo, are the 2 people who have recorded these lectures for you. I will be coordinating the general affairs of the course, while Dr. Nabuchi Anipeze will lead the live workshops. This is the schedule of the course. You can see that there are no dates. Again, this is going to be based on something that you can do at your own pace, okay? And hopefully we anticipate that you'll be able to complete this in the space of a month. That's the maximum allowable time that we're giving you. Each lecture is about 2 hours long. And so give or take 8 hours the way you're watching videos on your own during the course of the month, as well as 2 hours for each workshop where you're participating in the live workshop. The schedule is as follows. First of all, we will look at the introduction to epidemiology, and then we'll talk about the common epidemiology measures. So things like relative risk differences will be featured here. And then in the 3rd unit, we'll tell you some more about the cohort and case control studies in particular. And then in the 4th unit, we'll introduce causal inference very quickly. This is where we'll talk about confounding, DAGs to some extent, mediation. And then units 5 and 6 will be workshops. Workshop where you will do a study critique of a randomized control trial, and then workshop 2, where you'll do a study critique of a case control study. As far as the administration of the course is concerned, we will essentially depend on Google Classroom. We realize that some people might not have access to Google Classroom, and so we are providing a Google Sheet as an alternative to Google Classroom, where you'll be able to access all the course materials. You will always be able to reach out to us via email if you have questions or you're experiencing any challenges. Let me quickly share the Google Classroom interface so you see what it looks like. When you go into the EPI101 course, you will come across the EPI101 Google Classroom. This is what it looks like. The same introduction that I had just walked through will be here. And so if you look at the top of the page, you'll see that there are 3 main icons. There's a stream, there's classwork, and there's people. Stream will have announcements, general announcements. And right now we only have one announcement, but classwork will have the specifics of the work that we expect you to do. So the class record for each class. So this is the first lecture, which is Introduction to the Designs. There will be a course recording. If you click this, it will take you to a YouTube page. It will take you to a YouTube video that you can watch. Okay.
Okay. I think,
Then there is also the accompanying slides that you can also download and follow along with the course. So in this case, this is what the slides look like. This is currently open in Google Docs. You can download these slides and you can download these slides and you can walk through them on your own pace. And that's the same setup for each of the lectures. The first one is Introduction to the Design. The second one is the common epidemiologic measures. The third one is the case cohort and case control studies, and then Introduction to causal inference. In each case, there's a recording and then there is a slide, and so you can use either approach to walk through the material. And then for the workshop, there is going to be the critique, and there's going to be, first of all, the reading that you have to do. This is the paper. But in addition, we will also have a Word document that you will have to fill. Okay, so the goal is that you will open this in Google Docs. If you open this in Google Docs, for instance, you will be able to enter your responses here, right? And so if you're going to enter your responses, you can do that. And then once you're done, you can close it and turn it in. So once you turn it in, we'll be able to see that you have completed this homework. Okay, so that's study critique 1. The same thing applies to the second study critique. So if you go back to classwork, you see workshop here. This is workshop 2, and then this is the assignment that you can turn it here, and this is the paper that goes with it. Okay, this is where we expect you to turn it in. This is, so if you click this, this is where you're going to edit. If you open it in Google Docs, in the same manner, you can edit these documents and answer the questions. And and we give instructions to what we expect you to be able to do for each of these. So this is a course that you're going to walk through on your own, and we will give you as much support as we can during the course of the work. For the workshops, there are specific dates when the assignments are due, right? And that's partly because we're going to also have live workshops. So the goal is that you will, first of all, work on the study critique on your own. Then you come to the live workshop where we'll do it together in small groups. And then you go back and improve upon what you have, and then you turn it in. The same thing applies to the second workshop. So we're not expecting you to do all the work on your own. The workshop will help you to gain the skills that we want you to gain. So this is really how we are hoping that you'll walk through the course. But in the case, in case you're not able to access Google Classroom for whatever reason, we will also share this Google Sheet with you, which has much of the information that the Google Classroom has. The difference is that we will only make this available if you request it, so that we're not sharing with everybody. And we anticipate that the people that we might need to share this with are those who may not necessarily have access to Gmail, for instance. These might be the people, these are the people that we anticipate that we might want to share it with, or if you just find it more convenient. In the same manner, for each unit, we have the lecture slides and we have the recording. Okay, we have the lecture slides and we have the recording for each unit. And then for the workshop itself is live. There's a reading material you have to do beforehand, and then there's the worksheet that you have to complete. The only difference is that now you have to email the worksheet to us. This is a less preferred approach, because then that means that we have to start handling email here and there. Our preferred approach is for you to complete your work in Google Classroom. But if you have any questions and challenges at any time, please let us know. Going back to the rest of the presentation. In previous classes, when we have taught this class, we typically assess how the participants' knowledge at baseline as well as at the end of the course. So essentially, we'll give you a quiz to fill, 10 minutes, not much longer, and then assess how you're doing. So when we did it the last time, this is the distribution at baseline. A lot of people were hovering around 40. At the end, a lot of people were hovering around 70%. So that tells us that there's meaningful improvements in the understanding of the key principles that we are hoping to communicate. During the course of the course, and again, the same amount of time, 4 weeks. All right, baseline and then end of course, and then there's a course evaluation that we will send out. The course evaluation tends to be an opportunity for you to tell us what you think about the course, and we'll send that out at the end as well. For the baseline assessment, if you have not already received it in your mail or you have not completed it yet, please reach out to us and we'll send it to you. But we expect that by now you will have received the baseline assessment and you would have completed it. This is just an acknowledgement page for the materials that we have depended on to develop this course. This is not an exhaustive list, but this is just this is an example of the kind of things that we have depended on to develop the course materials. Thank you very much. Again, if you have any questions, please email us at courses@starts.clinic. Thank you. Bye.